I'm not going to speak much here. I would like to make some passive mention of three major events uh, which are very much important in the history of Dalit Muslim Bahujan political movements across the country. One event is Ustad Abdul Nasir Madini. I would call his time as an event, for he the one who actually, the Islamic scholar from Kerala, actually raised the question of unity of oppressed and marginalized, and now he is in prison. He has been in prison for more than a decade. And second event that I would like to remember here is SIMI, Students Islamic Movement of India, uh, which has been already banned. Uh, there is a movement which had talked a lot about the unity of the marginalized and oppressed across the country. And now the people who are pretending to be radical politicians are not even ready to talk about the ban on SIMI. And the third event that ASA, Ambedkar Students Association, which I am representing here. It's an association which is very much against the essential categories of politics, and it facilitates a larger imagination about marginalized students communities. And the same organization which facilitated the Janazah Namaz for Yaqub Memon, the man who was faced the violence and injustice from Indian nation state, and Afzal Guru. And these three things for me are three major events. I have mentioned these events to substantiate that caste is not the question which is newly invented by JNU scholars in the last students' union election. And one of the major thing that I find important in this context is the discourses which have been generated immediately after the murder of our friend and brother Rohit Vemula. The discourse actually we can trace out the root of this discourse into some of the speeches have been delivered immediately after his murder. One of the speeches was delivered by Arvind Kejriwal in University of Hyderabad, when he stated that despite the fact Rohit Vemula is a Dalit, he has got admission through general category. So the wider public has applauded this statement. And in the later discourses which has been generated immediately after these speeches, this particular thing which is called excellence or what merit has been largely attributed to Rohit Vemula. He's an exceptional student, he's a talent student who got admission through general category despite that he's a Dalit. So also I heard that people were there skeptical about whether the lecture has been written by Rohit or not. So this kind of discourses has been dominating dominating on the later political rhetoric formed after his murder. So I'm not going to dismiss all this rhetoric. Rather, I'm very much skeptical about this particular popularity now has been emerged about the caste question. I don't think the political position that we all are not all are. I mean, I can only talk about myself. Endorsing is solely the question of caste. Rather, it's a question of multiple marginalities, which has a larger history beyond decades. For example, I have already mentioned the event. I would call it event. The event of Simi, the event of Abdul Nazir Madini, the event of ASA. So it has a larger history. So I think we have to locate this particular history of these multiple marginalities, and by saying this, I find the rhetoric of identity politics very much problematic, as it's a category which is very much universal, which is largely theorized by leftist scholars in order to push the question of community into oblivion. The trap of the rhetoric of identity politics is the identity, which is a universal category, which can be applicable to any to any communities and irrespective of their power position and privileges. So I think we need to kind of assert uh, the the particular communitarian kind of questions which have larger history, which has not been immediately theorized by this universal category called identity politics. So yeah. Coming from University of Hyderabad, I am very much pleased to have seen the shift happening in the contemporary language of students' politics across the campuses, and I think the task that we have to take over is to critically distinguish our political positions from that of leftist, upper caste, appropriating political projects. That's all. JB, Assalamu alaikum.